Wow, Lindsay. You're beautiful.
Let us pray. We ask you, God, to bless and protect this sacred union that this couple has created here today. May peace always live within their hearts and in their home. May their true family and friends support them in times of difficulty and celebrate with them in times of joy. May they comfort those who come to them in times of need. May they find satisfaction in the work that they choose. May each of their hearts be led by the desire to perform good acts. May they share many, many years together. And may this community of friends and family surround them and continue to be inspired by the love that's united this couple. In your name we pray. Amen. Love is a temporary madness. It erupts like volcanoes and then subsides. And when it subsides, you have to make a decision. You have to work out whether your roots are so entwined together that it is inconceivable that you should ever part. Because this is what love is. Love is not breathlessness, it's not excitement, it's not the promises of eternal passion. That is just being in love, which any fool can do. Love itself is what is left over when being in love has burned away. And this is both an art and a fortunate accident. From Corelli's Mandolin. Desiree and Don, Scott, Catherine, although it probably feels like just yesterday, 2 children were born into this world, and in them you saw infinite hope and possibility. You've loved them, you've rejoiced with them, and you've cried with them too. You've given them inspiring examples of long and happy marriages, proof of hard work and rich reward. On this day, we see them taking a new step, but it's not a step away from you. It's a step with you beside them as they start their married life. Desiree and Don, do you support Lindsey on this glorious day and welcome Jeffrey into your family? Scott, Catherine, do you support Jeffrey on this glorious day and welcome Lindsey into your family? Oh, this is going well. Before you're joined together with your beloved in my presence, in the presence of your friends and family, and in the eyes of a loving God, I will remind you of the serious, binding nature of this relationship. The traditional rite of marriage, as most of us understand it, is the voluntary and deliberate and full commitment of 2 individuals to one another to become married partners for a lifetime. Have you come here freely, with no reservations, to enter into this marriage? That's great. Then let's begin this celebration of love and life. I stuck my head out the window this morning and summer kissed me bang in the face. So wrote Langston Hughes. And what a kiss we got today, even if it is the unofficial start of fall. Welcome to everyone tonight. We gather with such joy to witness this partnership, a partnership that will be forever changed after this day. Getting married is a supreme act of trust. It is as much a union as it is a move of independence. It takes absolute confidence in oneself to be able to give so fully to another. The ceremony is a perfect testament to the power of hope. This is a partnership that was forged with thought, with time, with emotion. It's a partnership that's intentional and well thought out, even though it thrives in spontaneity and laughter. It's a partnership of courage and trust, of fidelity and faith. People will say that in the world of today, every couple is subjected to challenges never seen before. But truly, you create your own world, your sanctuary where your values and your ethics and your dedication to each other strengthens you as individuals and as a family. You don't hang on to each other like a life raft. You explore, you venture out, but you know that you're safe in the roughest surf. And you are also important on this day. This couple has been inspired by so many of you in highly personal ways. You've shared the milestones of their lives. Many of you have traveled from far and wide to be here today, and this gift of your presence is a sweeter gift than you could ever imagine. You mean the world to them, and they're thrilled that you can be here. You are indeed the family that they have inherited and the family that they have chosen. Desiree and Catherine, would you join us, please? Lindsey and Jeffrey have chosen to honor 2 very special women today. Your mother is always with you. She's the whisper of leaves as you hike through the mountains, the smell of certain foods that bring back such sweet memories, flowers from the garden, the fragrance of life itself. She's the cool hand on your brow when you're not feeling well, and the sound of soft rain that lulls you to sleep. She's every color of the rainbow when you first see her enter a room. She lives in your laughter. She's the place you came from, your first home, the map you follow with every step that you take, your first friend, your first love, even your first co-conspirator. But nothing on earth or in heaven can ever separate you, not time or space. You have given this couple lifetimes of gifts, and we thank you now with all our hearts. Playwright Willie Yang writes in his play Finding Home, "We are all a culmination of the people who came before us, and we're here to finish the dreams that they left unfinished. This couple treasures the legacy of those who are here in spirit. We hear their voices in the whispering of the winds and the rustling of the leaves. Let us take just a moment to think of these beloved family members with fondness. We know that they rejoice with us today." When is a job not just a job? When one of the most unexpected and exciting fringe benefits is meeting the person who will change your life forever. This is a story just like that, and it's a wonderful story of time and timing, of serendipity and a little bit of karma. She will say that it's as close to love at first sight as one can get. It was the perfect setting for romance, the ambient fluorescent lighting, the smell of whiteboards and coffee, those vaguely uncomfortable team-building exercises. Yes, it was a work training in Massachusetts. She had come from New Jersey, he from Minnesota. The bigger general group split into smaller groups for dinner, and they happened to be in the same group. Over the next days, they'd get to know each other a bit more, and they decided to keep in touch across the miles. Just 3 months later, they had their first official date in New York City. It was almost 3 years ago today. After many months of Skyping and talking and flying back and forth, instead of viewing the distance between them as an insurmountable obstacle, they chose to see it as an opportunity to hone their communication and deepen their relationship. They learned to listen deeply, and that was translated into respect for each other, even when they disagree. Still, the geography was problematic, so Lindsey moved to Minnesota. This is a true testament of the power of love. And a year later, they moved back to New Jersey. Now, it's tempting to think that there was a specific moment that they became engaged in the wedding sense of the word, that aha moment. But the actual meaning of to engage is a little more subtle than that. Their true engagement started the day that they met, years ago. Because the definition of to engage is to attract and hold attention. When a couple is truly engaged in heart and mind and spirit, their bond is richer and deeper and more intuitive than any beautiful ring can announce or any eloquent ceremony can express. Though a beautiful ring never hurts. From the very beginning of this relationship, it became clear that this marriage was inevitable. They simply got each other on every level. He realized that this was the woman he wanted to marry, but a realization does not a proposal make. Like most grooms, he wanted to surprise her, which is almost impossible. She's not a fan of big, splashy public displays or being the center of attention. Well, today doesn't count. He wanted it to be just perfect. He found a beautiful ring, asked her parents for their blessings. They were, of course, delighted, and they managed to keep it a secret. But now he needed a plan, a proposal plan, and a willing accomplice, his sister Allie. They were on a well-deserved trip in Anna Maria Island in Florida with his family. It's a trip that his family's taken for years, and she started to come with them a few years ago. They love watching the sunset over the ocean, something that really doesn't happen in the Midwest. Now, when she was first introduced to this ritual, she recalls that she had never seen so many people watching a sunset. Truly, she thought it was a little odd, but ever the good sport, she joined the throngs who gathered every night. During one of those magnificent sunsets, Allie convinced her to pose for a photo, and before she even knew what was happening, he got down on one knee and simply asked her to marry him. This is not so easy in the sand. She did what any woman would do, faced with a proposal from the man that she loves. She said yes, and that's how we all got to be here today, celebrating their wedding and the start of many more adventures for them and for all of you too. It's easy to see what drew them to each other. They're perfect complements for each other. They share a sense of gratitude and deep respect for each other, always putting each other's feelings and needs first. That is a great foundation for a marriage. Kristen, would you join us, please? Kristen has a lovely reading for us.
Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. From Ecclesiastes.
When we think of marriage, we think of that iconic moment when one partner walks down the aisle to meet the person that they love. We tend to think of that as the moment of union, but truly it's that moment when we first face the world together as married partners. We walk down the aisle to an uncertain future. We have no idea what tomorrow will bring. But today is a celebration of your commitment to stand together, no matter what twists and turns unfurl on the road ahead. And while you've already seen so much in your life together, you'll see everything even more clearly as a husband and a wife. And so we have vows. But before I continue with your wedding vows, I have one more thing I want you to do. This day is one that really seems to fly by. It's a day filled with emotion and friends and rings and dances. I'm sure many of your friends and family here remember just how fleeting their own wedding day was. So I want you to close your eyes for just a moment. You can all close your eyes too if you'd like. Imagine that you're safe and happy and appreciated and respected and adored without reservation or condition. Now open your eyes and look at each other and realize that you are. Let this realization follow you through all the days of your life together. The couple has written their own vows.
Lindsey, I'm so excited to be your husband. You've been my friend, my girlfriend, my fiance, and now my wife. You are all those things and many more. You are my partner, my best friend, and the love of my life. I love you so much, and I promise to love you always. Whether life seems easy or life seems hard, I will love you. When our love is simple, or when it is an effort, I will love you. I will laugh with you in times of joy, and comfort you in times of sorrow. It has been such an incredible journey with you thus far, and I promise that this marriage and our love will continue to be the best adventure of our lives. I promise to always cherish you, support you in your dreams, and to love you always and forever.
Jeffrey, today in front of everyone I love, I take you to be my husband. I promise to love you in good times and in bad, when life seems easy and when it seems hard, when our love is simple and when it seems impossible. I promise to laugh with you, cry with you, and fall a little more in love with you every day in my life. I promise to choose you not just today, but every day, over and over and over again. I'm excited for our future. I'm excited to see our love grow and to watch you become the best husband and father a family could ever want. As we continue to grow our lives together, I will never forget this moment and these promises. Today I give you my hand, my heart, and my love without condition, completely and forever.
Wedding rings seize their significance not only from their intrinsic beauty, but from their expression of your deep commitment and this unending union. They are the outward symbols of the promises that you've made to each other in your hearts and now in public. They're a gentle, potent reminder of this choice you've made, the choice to live your life in unison with another person. People talk about rings as being a perfect circle, having no beginning or no end. But we all know that these rings had a beginning. Rock is dug from the earth, metals are liquefied in a furnace at thousands of degrees. That hot metal is forged and cooled and polished. Something beautiful is made from raw elements. Love is just like that too. It comes from humble beginnings made by imperfect beings. It's the process of making something beautiful where once there was nothing at all. The whole is always greater than the sum of its parts. As you wear them through the years, they'll collect their nicks and their scratches, and they'll take on their own personalities just as you will. And they may get a little scarred on the outside, just as you may too. But during any of those difficult times, you'll notice that if you take your ring off and you look at the inside of the band, it will still be perfect and shiny and brand new. So may it be with your love for each other. Never underestimate the power of touching that wedding band and realizing just how much you're loved. Now I ask you, Lindsay, please take that ring and place it on the fourth finger of his left hand. That's the one. Marie, would you come and join us, please?
A reading from 1 Corinthians. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered and keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. But love endures forever.
Thank you. Now, these vessels of glass represent all that you are today and all of what you will become as a family and a couple. They represent your lives before today, too. Each bead of glass is a thought, a word, a creation that's been shaped by each of you. Each grain is a dream. But now marriage, of course, it's about two people coming together, but it's also about two families coming together. But Kathleen and Desiree, would you join us again? We got to work, you guys, today. Now, this couple has picked variations of red to share. Of all the colors in the spectrum, red is the most passionate and intense. Red is never neutral. When red is present, something is happening. It represents strength and courage and health and, of course, romance. Now, Catherine is going to pour pink. It has a tinge of white, the color of protection, and Desiree is pouring burgundy. It combines the quality of black that adds vision and positivity to the mix. As your containers of glass are poured into the family vessel, let us remember the flowing together of the colors symbolizes your families blending together. There's tremendous joy in this, but as each grain maintains its individual identity, so will all of you. Your family is a combination of all the elements that makes you so unique, and those qualities are vital and distinct. In time, your relationship will go through the fire. It will stand the test of challenges and become even stronger. And on your first anniversary, you'll take these shards of glass and put them through the fire too. And you'll have a work of art as beautiful as the relationship you forged together. Working with glass, it's delicate and dangerous, just like being in love. It's high risk and high reward. You'll overcome your anxiety, throw your caution to the wind, and cozy up to the flame. In this circle of community, this couple has created this union marked by taking vows and exchanging rings. They've declared that they trust each other's kind intentions, and they vowed to preserve this precious gift of marriage, to place this gift above everything else. This celebration today, it's just that. It's a celebration, it's not a performance. At the end of the day, after the champagne and the speeches and the dancing, after the cake is cut and those high heels are under a table and that tie is draped over a chair, you'll realize that you're married to the one that you love. And you'll know this has been the perfect day, the start of so many perfect years. Again and again over the course of your lives, you will find ways to redefine the miraculous. Again and again, you'll see that happily ever after does not begin with once upon a time. It begins right now. It is my great honor and my great joy to pronounce you, I love saying that, to pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your beautiful bride.
Bow break, let it come down, crash. sun fade out to a dark sky. Can't say I'd even notice it was absent. 'Cause I could live by the light in your eyes. Unfold before you what I've strung together. The very first words of a lifelong love letter. Tell the world that we finally got it all right. I choose you. I will become yours and you will become mine. I choose you. I tell the world we finally got it all right. I choose you.
We are supplying the soundtrack tonight, and right now we have some very special people we'd like to introduce to you. So if you can help us out, turn your direction to the back room over there as we bring out the parents of our bride. Give it up for Mr. and Mrs. Donald Ellerthorpe out there.
I got a feeling that tonight
Keep those hands clapping for Jeffrey's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Scott Moon.
That tonight's gonna be a good night. Feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight.
Let's bring out our wedding party here tonight, folks. First up, we have bridesmaid Erica Dembowski and groomsman Bennett Davies. Let's hear it.
I got this feeling.
Big round of applause for bridesmaid Chandler Sturm and groomsman Farron Raby. Let's hear it.
I got that sunshine.
Give it up for Allie Tetzloff and Matthew Ellerthorpe, ladies and gentlemen.
My body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it. Moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it. So don't stop.
And somebody make some noise out there for your maid of honor, Sarah Ellerthorpe, and our best man, Brian Moon.
You close when we move. Well, you already know. So just imagine.
How about one more time for our parents and bridal party out here, ladies and gentlemen? Are you ready to bring out our newlyweds here tonight? No. You guys were louder at the ceremony. You guys ready to bring out our newlyweds tonight? If you can, we're going to ask that you please rise from those seats. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the new Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey Moon.
On a night when they become a screamer, when the messing with the dreamer, I can laugh it in the face.
Let's hear it for your happy couple out there, folks.
Wrap yourself around me. Circus life under the big top world. We all need the clowns to make us smile.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the new Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey Moon out there. So now we invite the father of the bride out here. And ladies and gentlemen, this next song is a surprise to Lindsey. How about a nice round of applause for Dad one more time tonight?
Every step that we take brings back the memories. You're still my baby daughter, and now I've gained a son. I'll take this slow, sweet walk with you. You letting go of my hand to say I do. And he will discover just how blessed a life can be. I know, 'cause all those years ago your mom handed you to me. Don't miss the chance to put each other first. Now that you've vowed for better or for worse, picture of a slow, sweet walk yet to be. You'll take my hand, say, Daddy, come see.
Ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause for Lindsey and Dad out there.
I hope the days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you wanna go. And if you're faced with a choice and you have to choose, I hope you choose the one that means the most to you. And if one door opens to another door closed, I hope you keep on walking till you find the window. If it's cold outside, show the world the warmth of your smile. But more than anything, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanted to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my wish. I hope you never look back, but you never forget all the ones who love you in the place you left. I hope you always forgive and you never regret, and you help somebody every chance you get. Oh, you find God's grace in every mistake, and always give more than you take. But more than anything, yeah, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanted to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this
Family and friends, a nice round of applause out there for Jeffrey and Mom one more time. And for all those wonderful dances here tonight. And folks, we now invite you back to your seat. We do have some very special toasts coming up for you, so Enjoy the company at your table for a few moments, and we will be right with you.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lindsay's little sister and maid of honor, Sarah, and I have been waiting a very long time to be handed the mic at my sister's wedding. Thank you for celebrating with us today. I know there were many plane and car rides to bring us together. Thank you for making the trip. And thank you, Lindsey and Jeff, Mom and Dad, and the Moon family for planning this beautiful day to celebrate my sister and new brother. Lindsey, I am honored to be by your side today and to have had you by mine for my whole life. Lindsey and I have gone from cribs and playing in the basement to Barbie Jeeps and watching Dad grill while wearing a headlamp and holding an umbrella, to college move-in days and national championships, go Cats, to apartments and adulthood. Looking back, I can't imagine life without Lindsey. Maybe because I've never actually experienced it, but having spent my forever with her, it's easy to see why Jeff wants to spend his forever with her. I'm so lucky to have her as a role model and support system. Growing up, she would let me hold on to her in the ocean, and she'd tread for both of us because I was too little to hold my head above water on my own. There have certainly been times since then where I've needed to lean on her, and she's always there, no matter what. She is so kind, strong, and smart. She's also full of sisterly advice for Matt and me, like, you think that, you don't say it. After we say something we probably should have thought twice about. For those of you who don't know, Lindsey is the golden child. Although, there have been a few times where she single-handedly dethroned herself. Like the time she confused the gas pedal for the brake pedal and literally drove Dad's car into the house. She took out the basketball hoop and everything. Dad was speechless. She's also accidentally thrown her keys in the dumpster, which, if you ask me, raises her ranking because the video of her dumpster diving to get them, it's hilarious. I know this makes it official, but Jeff has been part of the family for a while now. I've considered him my brother ever since he showed up to pick me up from the airport with a welcome home sister sign. And Jeff, even though when I asked you if I'm the little sister you never knew you always wanted, you looked at the TV and said, top of the fifth, 3-2. Oh, he walked him. You're the big brother I've always needed and Matt has always wanted. If there's one thing I've learned about Jeff, it's that you never know what he's going to say or do. In the winter, he constantly walks around singing, "Walking in a Jeffrey Wonderland." The first thing he did when we got in the rental car at the Orlando airport was turn on Something Incredible / Orlando from the Book of Mormon soundtrack. He sang that too. He showers before going to the beach. That's really baffling. He also sometimes, out of nowhere, sends unsolicited random facts about bees and cows to the family group text. On a more serious note, I'll always remember what I overheard my dad tell my mom after Jeff left on the night he asked for permission to marry Lindsey. He said, quote, "We did good, honey. We got rid of one." But really, our family just grew and expanded to the Midwest. And just like the sign in Mom's Kitchen says, family is everything. Everything else is just everything else. I also think he meant to say Lindsey did good, because Jeff is one of the good ones. Jeff loves Lindsey unconditionally, and I have all the confidence in the world that he will always take care of her. For that, I am forever thankful. Jeff and Lindsey met during a work training trip in Massachusetts, and since then they've both moved across the country for each other. Although I'm pretty sure Jeff thinks he's just on a long vacation in New Jersey. Together, they're a great team and are second to none when it comes to a well-stocked bar and TV and internet service. They have what Lindsey refers to as the "you don't need this" TV and internet package, and high-maintenance Wi-Fi. They literally have 2 Wi-Fi networks. They're really just not very good at Can Jam, yet they still manage to win more often than not. We were playing in the backyard one day, and Lindsey threw the frisbee, and it hit the house, which was nowhere near the target. And all you hear is Jeff yelling, "That's okay, you're doing great. Maybe face the other way next time you throw it." As he's running after the frisbee. But when it comes to anything other than Can Jam, they're a team I'd want in my corner any day. They cheer each other on through life's ups and support each other through its challenges, most notably when it's time to go to the doctor. So, Lindsey and Jeff, here's to you. Here's to the memories you share, Lindsey's first and probably last Minnesota winter, Jeff's first time in New York City, your first apartment together, and many nights of waking up at 3 a.m. because it took you months to figure out how to turn your soundbar off. Here's to you, right here, right now, surrounded by so many people who love you on your wedding day. And I believe Gramps and Uncle John are with us today and every day. We are all so happy for you. Here's to your future together. I hope it's filled with love, laughter, family, friends, and happiness. I know I can't wait to see it. I love you both to the moon and back. Cheers.
Good evening. I'm Jeff's older brother, Brian. I've had the pleasure of knowing Jeff for most of his life. All of his life, all right. During the bachelor party, one of the gentlemen that I had never met before asked me, growing up, what my relationship with Jeff was, and kind of was digging to see what the worst trouble we ever got into was. And the truth is, we never really got into trouble. He was kind of my tag along. He was my best friend, and it's something. It's something I always valued. Eventually, I went away to college, and we didn't really see each other too much, except for 1 week at Boy Scout camp every year. We were both on staff, and I was there first, obviously, because I was older, and then a couple years later, Jeff came along, and after a couple years of being on staff, we actually had the privilege of working together. So we were basically doing the same function, which meant for a week every summer, we got to drive around in four-wheelers through the woods, things like that. Our job was mostly kind of behind-the-scenes stuff, but at the end of the week, the big camp activity was a big hike that all the campers would go on, and our job was to set this up for them. We basically had to drive way out into the woods and put a bunch of GPS markers for the campers to follow. And to do this, we'd take this little trail that wound through the woods, and after a while, after a couple years, we knew where we were going. However, one year, the trail was closed, and we were under a bit of a time crunch. We didn't really know where we were going, so we just decided to head off down this logging trail that we were pretty sure was mostly headed in the right direction. So we were driving. We drove for probably a good 5 minutes, and eventually I pulled over and I said, "Jeff, I think we're lost. We should probably turn around and try to find our way back." And in the most Jeffrey way possible, he said, "Let's just keep going." So now, for any of you who know Jeffrey, he has a pretty good skill set. Directional navigation is probably not near the top. However, for some reason, I don't know why, I thought, okay, this could be fun. So we kept going, didn't get any less lost. So after a while, I stopped again and I said, "Jeff, I'm pretty sure we should turn around, try and find our way back." And he looked at me and he said, "No, let's keep going. We have to be almost there." And I remember thinking to myself, this is the point when you hear those stories on the news. People are like, "Oh, this is when we made a decision and we got rescued," or "This is where we ended up eating squirrels in the woods for 2 weeks." So I was like, all right, we'll give it another go. Drove for a couple more minutes, and sure enough, we made our way to camp. Right. This guy right here. So when I was trying to figure out what to talk about tonight, it occurred to me that this was a good metaphor for life, because there's going to be times when you two are lost, but you'll always be together. And you'll always have someone to tell you, keep going, we're almost there. It's been so fun watching you grow from two individuals into a couple that unconditionally loved each other. And Lindsay, I'm so happy to have another sister. So please join me in a toast. To a long life of love, laughter, and finding your way.
Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you guys ready to celebrate the new Mr. and Mrs. Moon out there tonight?
Do you remember when it first started? September, love was changing the mind like a tender, while chasing the clouds away. Our hearts were ringing in the key that souls were singing as we danced in the night. Remember how the stars rolled the night away. My thoughts are with you, holding hands with your heart to see you. Only blue talking love. Remember how we knew love was here to stay. Now December, found a love we shared in September. Only blue talking love. Remember true love we shared today.
Sing it, come on.
Sound bell was ringing, our
Put your hands up. Come on. Put those hands up. Put those hands up. Hey.
This is your celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate. Celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together.
Ready.
It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around.
Put your hands up.
Celebrate good times. Come on. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing.
I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying, ayo,
Put 'em up.
gotta let go. I wanna celebrate and live my life, saying, ayo, baby, let's go. I came to dance, 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 dance. I hit the floor cause that's my plans, 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 plans. I'm wearing all my favorite brands, 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 brands. Give me some space for both my hands, 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 hands. Yeah, yeah, cause it goes on and on and on. And it goes on and on and on. Yeah, I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying, ayo, gotta let go. I wanna celebrate and live my life, saying, ayo, baby, let's go. Cause we gon' rock this club, we gon' go all night. We gon' light it up like it's dynamite. Cause I told you once, now I told you twice. We gon' light it up like it's dynamite. Don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said shut up and dance.
Come on, we can be a little louder than that. Come on. One more time.
She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Won't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. I knew we were bound to be together, bound to be together. She took my arm, I don't know how it happened. We took the floor and she said, oh, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Ow, he's a brick house. She's mighty, mighty, just letting it all hang out. How she's a brick house. I like lady stack, that's a fact. Ain't holding nothing back. How she's a brick house. Well put together, everybody knows this is how the story goes. She knows she's got everything that a woman needs to get a man. Yeah, yeah. How can she lose with the stuff she used? 36, 24, 36. What a winning hand, 'cause she's a letting it all hang out. And she's a brick house. I don't like lady stack, that's a fact. Ain't holding nothing back. Oh, she's a brick house. Yeah, she's the one, the only one. Real back and down with the hun.
Grab that one special person, bring them on out.
And sleep out in the rain. If she said that's the way it ought to be. Well, this man loves a woman. I gave you everything I had. Trying to hold on to your chocolate love. Baby, please don't treat me bad.
Don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling.
Hey, we need all loved ones to come join our happy couple out here. Come on.
Sunshine in my pocket.
Get up.
That good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it. Moving so phenomenally.